Okay, welcome to the operating systems. This is also part of the Computer Science Foundation. So, a computer may not work without a program called operating system. Now, when you talk about an operating system, this is the main program that controls the execution of user applications and enables the user to access the hardware and software. So, the main program that make everything possible in a computer is called an operating system. Remember, even if you buy a new computer, you may not operate before you install this main program called operating system. Later on, you shall be in a position to see exactly what is this operating system. Now, look at this diagram. You can see the user there is running a program like a game. Then, this game is an application software. So, the game, when it's clicked, it sends signals to the operating system, which now tells the hardware, wake up. So, the operating system here is the main program that is receiving and controls execution of application programs. So without an operating system, it's like a car without an engine. Then the next point to note is that operating system operates or controls a number of resources. So a computer is supposed to have resources. These resources are the ones that I want us to see. So as a resource manager, the operating system or the OS manages the following basic resources and devices. The processor. The processor is the computer CPU. The CPU is controlled by the operating system. Then you have the main memory or the random access memory. It's also controlled by the operating system. You also have the secondary storage devices, like we have noted earlier. Also, we have also noted about input-output devices and their ports. Ports are the place that you insert the gadgets, like the USB port. Then you have the communication devices and their ports and files. Then it is also worth to look at the functions of an operating system. Now that we have seen the resources and the operating system, we have the processor management. Processor is the brain. The brain of the computer cannot work minus the operating system. The operating system is the one that tells it what to do with the requests that are given. We also have the memory allocation. The operating system is responsible of allocating memory slices. The CPU is termed as a bread with slices. Every gadget is given a slice. That is a memory location. In that it should work only within that memory location. Then we have input-output devices and port management. The operating system controls the input and output devices, avoiding conflicts. Later on we shall see how conflicts come. Management of secondary storage devices. The operating system manages the storage, retrieval of data, and also the security of data in the machine. We have management of communication devices and ports. Communication here refers to how various devices and programs interact, that is, send and receive messages or requests within the system. We have file management. Operating system will create files, folders, and also give them date modified names, extensions for easy retrieval or sharing. Then you have job scheduling. The operating system arranges loads programs in order to provide a continuous sequence of processing and also provide the appropriate responses to events. The processor can handle only one task at a time. Now this one is called priority. The task that was sent earlier is executed first. So we say first in, first out. Then we have jobs, job sequencing. The OS keeps a list of jobs, tasks currently being run, and monitors them as they move in and out of the processor. It arranges them in a particular order to make it easy for processor to execute them and know how they will fail to fetch and decode instructions. So sequencing ni kupanga line, zinapangwa line, but scheduling ni kuzipea appointments. Wewe utafanya kazi saa hii, wewe utafanya, that is scheduling. But sequencing ni paga line, like you do it when taking your lunch or tea. Resource control and allocation. Now, how does the operating system identify this is a keyboard, this is a mouse, this is a speaker? The operating system assigns a special number to each device called an interrupt number, just like you have been given registration numbers or admission numbers for ISE identification. And each interrupt number is special. There is no two gadgets holding one interrupt line. This is for ISE identification and for ISE job scheduling and job sequencing. So whenever two tasks meet together having a request, or when tasks hold a needed resource and refuses to release it, they resort to a situation called deadlock. A deadlock is hang up, machine ina hang. So that one lazima itatuliwe. That one is inatatuliwa using something called interrupt handling. An interrupt is a break from the normal sequential processing of instructions in a program. Imagine a situation whereby you are running home, or you are just running towards your DH or your class, then you get a wild animal in front of you. You will definitely stop. That animal for that case will be an interrupt. The same case happens to a computer. When there is a break through the normal sequence processing, that one is called an interrupt. Each hardware device communicates to the processor using a special number called IRQ, interrupt request number. We had seen it in the previous page. Therefore, when an interrupt occurs, control is passed to the kernel, which determines the cause of the interrupt. The kernel is the innermost part. It's the innermost part of the operating system that handles errors. So the processor stops executing the current program to wait for the corrective response of the user. Now this one is called error handling. Then we have classification of the OS. How do we classify operating systems? The operating systems are classified according to three main factors. Number one, number of users it can handle. Number of tasks or jobs it can handle. And then how it interacts. Inaongeaje na wewe? How does it interact with you? That is called human-computer interface. And we go one-on-one. Operating systems can be classified according to number of tasks that the system can perform concurrently. Concurrently ni kusema ikifuatana ama wakati mmoja. Single tasking operating system. This means it can only handle one task. Multitasking or multitasking, it can handle a number. Unaweza cheza game, unacheza ngoma, you are typing, you are sending email, you are WhatsApping, you are Facebooking. That is multitasking. Number of users the system can support at the same time. There is an operating system that can only handle one person at a time. It is called single user. There is another one that can handle many people. One machine there is shared by many people. That is called multitasking, like a server. Then we have human-computer interface. This is the way user and computer interact. You can interact by typing commands. That is called command line, just like you type your PIN number when you are unlocking your phone. Then we have the menu-driven interface. This is a situation whereby unaweza pewa county za Kenya mzima, 47, Nairobi, Mombasa, blah, blah, blah. Then you want to choose yours. Yours is Keregoyo Marakwet. You click on it. But you cannot see Keregoyo Marakwet up there. You will see Nairobi first or Mombasa. Then you scroll. A list of menus is called menu-driven. So we have graphical user interface. This is whereby you interact using your mouse or your finger. Touch screen pale unaguzaguza. So example ya single tasking tuna Microsoft disk operating system inaitwa MS-DOS. But the others akina Windows, Unix, Linux, you have Novell. Those ones are multitasking. So you can pause the video and take short notes. When you talk about the human-computer interface, this refers to the method of interaction between the computer and the user and determines how easily the user can operate the computer. Now here, we talk about user friendliness. User friendliness means how easy is it for you to learn and use the system. So, a user-friendly human-computer interface should be relatively easy to use, should be self-contained, should be robust or reliable, should also make you feel well when using it. Characteristics of the GUI, that is the graphical user interface. The graphical user interface, this one, ukiangalia kitu kama smartphone or your mobile phone or your computer that is in front of you, it has more pictures. And when you want to access something, you click those pictures. Those small pictures are called icons. And they reside on a rectangular shaped area. Ukiangalia hiyo screen yako, inakaa dirisha, window. It is rectangular in shape. Na unatumia nini kufinya hizo vitu? You can use your finger kama ni touch, or you can use a mouse, a scrolling device like the mouse. So, when you talk about a graphical user interface, of which you can see there, it has something called WIMP, windows, rectangular working area, icons, small pictures that represent commands, menus, list of commands, pointing devices like the mouse. We have already looked at the pointing devices. Then we have menu-driven interface, just like I've explained in area county, whereby you have a drop-down list, then you choose. So there are two types of menus. We have pull-down menus. These are menus that go downwards, and pop-up menus, like when you right-click. Then we have command line. This one you have to cram. You have to memorize commands. Otherwise, you're not in a position to operate such a system, because you just see a black screen with a white cursor. It is asking you to type something. If you don't know, then you quit, you go home. Factors to consider when choosing an operating system. Ukitaka kununua operating system, what do you consider? You consider hardware configuration. Hardware, it means tangible, like the RAM, memory size. Memory is tangible. You can plug it and return. Hard disk, capacity, type of processor, basic design of the computer, whether the computer is Apple or it's a kawaida IBM, International Business Machine. We also have hardware compatibility. Compatibility means if you are using Dell, it can work with HP or Toshiba or Samsung or any other. That means whether it can work with others. User needs, I had explained that. User friendliness, the ease of use, availability in the market, and also portability. Usende kununua kitu yenye si portable. Then, let's see, why does an operating system organize information in a tree-like structure? My goals for OS organizing information in a tree-like structure. It is for ease of access. Ndio iweze kuipata rahisi. Ease of update. Iweze kupelekwa hiyo daraja ingine. Efficient storage. The OS should ensure that available space is well utilized. No wastage of space. Ease of maintenance. Enable quick navigation through the file. You can identify the mistake or the errors very fast. Reliability. That makes it reliable for you. Then you have Windows operating system. Your teacher will take you to a computer lab if you are in class, or if you are in computer lab, you'll be allowed to access. You look at the features that I have taken you through. Then you have examples of Windows operating system. So here I went ahead and put Linux. Okay, these are non-Microsoft. Okay, we have Windows. Ukisikia Windows, hiyo ni ya Microsoft. Microsoft is a company that comes up with Windows. So we started with those Windows, akina NT, Windows 95, Windows Millennium. We have others that are non-Microsoft. Linux, Unix, Mac, and OS2. Those are non-Microsoft. Now, before we quit, there is something called a file. Sahi, ukikope ngoma, uweke hapo kwa computer. Or if you type something, or when you copy a music file and place it on a computer, that is called, that item you copy there is called a file. A file is a collection of related data given a unique name for ease of access, manipulation, and storage on a secondary device. So a file, anything you create in a computer is a file, whether music, whether Excel, whether Word, whether Access, whether internet related, it's a file. So a file must have the following characteristics. Number one, lazima iwe na jina, lazima iwe na size, kiwango chake, ilitengenezwa lini. So a file must have a file name, extension for identification, file size, date created and date modified, among others. File extensions, these are the extreme right part of the file. That is, it may add something like .docx, that means it's a Microsoft Word file. It may add XLSX, that means in a Microsoft Excel file. As time goes by, you understand these things. An extension is just a part that is used to identify what kind of a file or which application created that file. Now, your teacher will now allow you to go to Windows 10 or Windows 11, depending on the operating system you are using. Then from there, you can run parts of a window taskbar, the parts of the taskbar, ask Mwalimu where the taskbar is, scroll bars, menu bars, standard toolbar, control bar, etc. So, thank you very much for watching on that session. Our last session will be computer networking, and then we shall be in a position to wrap up term 1 work once we are done with computer networking. So, again, I won't forget to ask you to subscribe if you haven't. You can also share with your friends. In case you need the notes, here is the number to get the notes.